Hi, I'm Michael.
Hi, I'm Amelia.
And today we're talking about asexuality.
Am I? I don't know yet.
Asexuality is something that's misunderstood by a lot of people, so we're here today to ask Amelia about what it is and what it means for people.
In really simple terms, asexuality is defined by not experiencing sexual attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And sexual attraction is the desire to have sex with someone based on appearance or voice or any other of the many factors that affect your attraction. And asexual people don't have that.
But they do have relationships with people sometimes?
Some people still have romantic relationships, some people still have sexual relationships for a variety of reasons. No one's experience with asexuality is exactly the same.
There are lots of myths about asexuality, so I think maybe the question is, what isn't it?
It's not the same as abstinence or celibacy because those are choices and being asexual isn't a choice. It's also not being able to find a partner. And it's not anything to do with gender.
So just because you don't necessarily feel sexual attraction to someone, that doesn't mean you can't also feel romantic attraction to someone.
Just like how we have heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, there is the same thing but with romantic orientation. So hetero-romantic, homo-romantic, bi-romantic. And these are very similar to like the sexual orientation versions, but they are just about romantic feelings and who would want to date or have as a partner. There are also aromantic people who are people who don't want necessarily to have a romantic relationship. I mean, they might still for whatever reason, but it means they don't experience romantic attraction. So
we've talked about no people's experiences necessarily being the same, and so obviously there's lots of variation, but we've got this thing called the ACE umbrella. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
So asexuality, like a lot of things to do with gender and sexuality, is something of a spectrum. Asexual is an identity on its own, but it's also an umbrella term or like a spectrum term for a wider group of people who have similar experiences. There's demisexuality and grey asexuality or grey sexuality, and these are both identities that fall under the asexual umbrella. Demisexuality is someone who doesn't experience sexual attraction until there's a strong emotional bond formed.
Okay.
And this isn't the same thing as, you know, like waiting till marriage or something. No. It's about not feeling sexual attraction until you are entirely comfortable with someone. Grey asexuality or grey sexuality is a lot harder to define, and that's deliberate because it's for people who feel like they fit under the asexual umbrella because they experience sexual attraction so rarely, or when they do it's so weak, or because they feel absolutely no desire to act on it, and that makes them feel more asexual than not.
More than 1% of the population identifies asexual, but not a lot of people seem to know about it, or at least they don't understand it. It must be difficult coming out as asexual, and so can you offer any tips to any young people watching?
I think the main thing to know is that it's like coming out anyway with any identity. It's going to be tricky, but there's the added level of the fact that the person you're coming out to may never have heard the term before, or have all these ideas about what it means that aren't correct. So you have to be patient, and it might be really, really frustrating because you feel like you've explained it and they're just not understanding, but you have to just let people ask questions, talk it over. Obviously, if someone's asking questions you're not comfortable answering, you don't have to. And if you think just it's easier to show them a video and say, this is what it is, then that works too.
This video being a really good example of that. Well, thanks for coming down and giving us a really, really helpful advice there. I'm sure everyone will appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Okay, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.